Billy, why were you saying that AJ McCarron's an idiot?
Oh, because he is. I mean, I don't think I said it that way. I wouldn't say
You did.
it like
I'm
that.
quoting you directly. You were.
When did I say that? I don't remember.
It was in the hallway near the commissary.
Can I retract it? Can I like downgrade to a dum-dum?
Okay.
Possibly.
But why were you complaining about AJ McCarron?
Well, because AJ McCarron had like a cushy backup job in the NFL where he was making like $4 million or $6 million or something like that. And then he quit that to go play in the XFL so this dumb kid could watch him play football. And then Chris actually pointed out the kid was probably on an iPad the whole time, not even watching. So why did you do that, AJ McCarron?
He wanted to play.
No.
He wanted his sons to see him play football.
Right.
He was making $4 million. He took a 98.5% pay cut down to $60,000.
Because he'd be the backup, not playing.
What's wrong with being a backup?
That's safer.
I get that. I get him being like, I want my kid to see me play. But I'm with you, Billy. The kid's not paying attention to that game. Come on.
In the cushy post-game interview, he said, it's a great living. I'm honored to do it, but I just wanted to see my kids to watch me play.
That kind of brings us to the Carson Wentz discussion. Like, a guy like Carson Wentz gets cut from the Commanders. Should he go be a back? Because he'd be a good backup instantly.
Well,
or do you go to the XFL and just be the best player in the league history?
Why would you do that?
Stugotz came in here today with a life philosophy that isn't exactly from the Anthony Robbins school of self-help and isn't the winner's motto that you get throughout sports. In regards to Carson Wentz, Stugotz offered the following life philosophy.
Embrace the clipboard. I'm serious. It is the greatest job anywhere in sports. $4 million a year. You don't get hurt. Everyone loves you. Everyone wants you to come in. Occasionally, you have to come in. If you make a couple of big plays, they love you even more. If you don't, you go back to the bench, you hold a clipboard, you earn $4 million a year. Carson Wentz needs to stop trying to be a starting quarterback in the NFL and start trying to be a backup quarterback in the NFL. Dan, you can do it forever. Chad Henne just did it. $4 to $5 million a year. He was called upon once. 98-yard touchdown drive. What a great lifestyle. Not injured, not hurt. You make a ton of money. You could do it forever. Why would Carson Wentz not want to do that?
Henne just retired. Or not Henne. Who are we talking about?
Yeah, we were
Chad
talking
Henne
about
retired.
Chad Henne.
He went out on top.
Good contribution. Chris Cody, go sit in the penalty box.
Wow.
I'm sorry. He has to go, though. He's got to go.
Just go. Get out of
So
here.
Taylor Heineke has said he wouldn't mind. He'd like to start, but he wouldn't mind being a backup for those exact reasons. It's a cushy job. It's an easy job. Chris Sims has told us that, Billy, that he loved holding a clipboard. And so all I'm saying is embrace the clipboard.
Well, and Stugotz, occasionally, then you have an injury to the starting quarterback. You have a big season, then you get a monster deal.
Right.
If I can just rewind a touch here, okay? Because it's not just that he's embracing the idea of don't compete, be a rich person who doesn't compete.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so is AJ McCarron, by the way. He's embracing don't compete. It's let me go to a lower level so I can be a star because I can't hang in the big league.
Also, there's like 77 quarterback injuries every year. He's going to end up playing somewhere in the NFL if he just waits for 2 weeks.
I just need to address a portion of this before we address the AJ McCarron portion of this, which is Stugotz not realizing that the clipboard's not a thing anymore in the NFL. I don't know when it got put aside. But that's not the way they're doing it anymore. And I've got to imagine the clipboard industry in general isn't doing very well because
had its best year ever last year, Dano.
I don't believe that the clipboard. I believe that clipboard owners and business people who run clipboards are saying we're in real trouble here. I don't think the clipboard is going to maintain its popularity. I think it's endangered. But your larger point is, just collect a check and never actually test your skills against anybody.
He's had so many chances. At some point, you have to realize, hey, you know what? I had a flash as a rookie with the Eagles. Nick Foles came in, won a Super Bowl. I am not that good at this, okay?
Oh.
I have had multiple chances on multiple teams, and it's time to just resign myself to being a backup. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with being the guy that comes in when the guy gets hurt. I mean, that's
great college career, probably a college football Hall of Famer at some point if he isn't already.
Yep.
For sure, he's going to be in the Hall of Fames of rivalries and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Carson Wentz?
No, we're talking about AJ McCarron, aren't we?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Go and join Chris Cody.
Oh, wow. No,
Well, I'm not
man.
certain- I'm not
It could
certain
be
who
different
should join
strokes for
there.
different folks.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
All right, you're right.
There was that SI cover that
Gary
asked
Coleman,
genuinely, is AJ McCarron the greatest college football quarterback of all time?
It's a gack, yeah.
Well, Tommy Frazier, but
I would,
Huh.
I would say Joe
Yeah.
Burrow.
Joe Burrow, huh?
Tebow
Yeah.
was good in college.
Tebow, Burrow, Cam.
Yeah, Cam was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frazier's great.
Right.
But
The college quarterback is different than the pro quarterback, where a guy like Eric Crouch could be in that conversation. Now, he's not. I kicked him out of the Heisman house before, but guys like Turner Gill, Tony Rice, Tommy Frazier
Jason
are,
White.
oh my God, Tebow are certainly in that conversation.
yeah, well, Tebow is in the conversation. He's one of the first three names that you say, but you can be, Joe Burrow showed us that you can be in the conversation. You call him the best quarterback in the pros.
Yep.
Some people call him the best college football quarterback ever, and they have a strong argument.
Tony, would you agree with that, Burrow?
Yeah, Burrow. The thing is, he had such a good season that one year
such
was
great
so
weapons.
incredible.
One
His
year
weapons.
wonder.
Yeah, but
No, I
I
don't
mean,
like
he
that.
went from a
Yes,
school to
Chase
another
Jefferson.
school.
I know.
up
Stick
there
at one
mu-
school.
And
Stick to one
Chase.
school.
You
Oh,
said
wow.
that? Steve Morton.
Yeah, you should go out and sit with.
Yeah, see you
Oh,
upstairs.
no,
Sorry.
no.
Sorry.
I thought you said
no.
Justin Jefferson.
I said Jefferson and Chase.
I
Yeah.
know, but
Combo.
No, but I'm sorry, man. We can't have different strokes for
Randy
different
Moss
folks.
Jr. too
Yeah.
at tight end.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I would say that he's got a lot to be proud of in his
Oh, look
career.
at this.
He's got a lot to be proud of in his career. That SI thing and publicly not a great look for the commentator, but everyone knows who his wife is, and you know he's very proud of that.
Are we talking about AJ McCarron?
Yeah, I'm talking about AJ
Yeah.
McCarron, but
just make
I
sure.
like that he didn't need the money and he just wanted to go and show out for his family, and
He
that's
can always go back too. Like,
yeah, well, he's got to be in demand if he keeps playing this way. Although it's weird, the AJ McCarron experience, he hasn't been good, but the last 90 seconds of a game, all of a sudden, the guy becomes Joe Montana. It's very odd. He's been terrible.
I just sat down in Stugotz's chair and I'm looking at things he's Googled throughout the show. One of them, a couple of animal news. So for the Ron McGill segment, he was looking up. And the most recent thing, clipboard sales.
how they doing?
They're killing it.
Wow.
Wow.
He
What
knew
was the
it.
website?
Clipboards.com.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't believe that
Checks
actually
out, yeah.
checked out. Yeah. But I think it's admirable. Yeah, you just like taking the piss out of all of this XFL stuff. I think it's one of the heartwarming stories.
Who does?
You.
Me? How so?
Yeah.
All the piss.
You used
took
to be
it-
a
you took
major
the piss out of
Guardians
it.
guy.
It's-
You used to love it. Is this because the XFL has broken your heart too many times?
No, I was an Orlando Rage guy.
Don't you want?
Oh, yeah.
Don't you want piss
OG?
taken out of something?
You don't want it to stay inside of you. That'll lead to complications.
Right. That's what Billy's
Yeah,
doing.
that's,
That's
Yeah.
that's very true.
I'm just
yeah.
saying, like, if we're really thinking about family,
Right.
I mean, long term, and I don't want to go down this path. I don't want to go down this path, but long.
Just because you say it twice, you think you're not going to go down the
I
path?
want to
Samuel Disco.
emphasize, I don't want to go down this path. I'm kind of being forced down this path.
You can bail
lot of
on it
paths.
right
No,
now.
I
if you
can't.
want.
We're in too deep.
He's
and
on the path
I owe
now.
it to the audience to continue down this path that I don't want to go down. If AJ McCarron was really worried about, his kids seeing him play, it's safer to stay in the NFL where he's not getting hit. In the XFL, he could get injured at any moment.
Paid a lot more to not play in the NFL.
Yeah,
So you're making
safer.
the argument that he doesn't appreciate his children.
Exactly right. I didn't want to. I was led down that path.
You guys have, some of us have kids of that age, 5, 6 years
I'm Ron
old.
Burgundy.
I don't know whether or not your
Mine is 5.
daughter is 5 or 6 years old.
Chris has a dilemma with his daughter.
Yeah, she told me she has a crush on a kid from her school. I don't know how to feel about
I
that.
think this happened with Roy recently too, didn't it?
Yeah, different circumstance. I watched the Maple Leaf Sabres game, and she yelled from the living room, "He is handsome." I was cooking. I walked out of the kitchen. I asked, "Who's handsome?" Him. She pointed at PK Subban.
Ah.
I was like, "Oh no," because this is the first time that she ever commented about the looks of a boy. So now I'm nervous and now I'm scared now.
You guys are saying that AJ McCarron's 6-year-old son isn't paying attention during the games, and that AJ McCarron is making a sacrifice for his son that is actually for AJ McCarron's romantic vision of what fatherhood is, that his son's not going to remember this, not going to appreciate it, and can check it out on YouTube in a few years from their mansion that will be much nicer and his bedroom that will be much nicer because he's got an NFL salary.
Yeah.
And that's why he's an idiot or a dum-dum.
Well, no, it's kind of like, do you want your kid to watch you play football or you want him to go to college, you know? And that's, you know, this is where we're at.
Well, let's go back to Stugotz's assessment, though, because it's not an unpopular opinion to say that the backup quarterback can get very wealthy doing a job that can be pretty easy.
Chase Daniel, 13 years, $42 million, barely been touched.
He knows
Still
where
playing.
his bread is buttered, Dan.
But let's talk about Carson Wentz, who I believe at one point was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Do you think he looks into a mirror with self-awareness, or does he believe I've beaten the odds all my life? I was the number 1 overall pick. No one had this as my story from a small college. I became the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. I think it's Stugotz, I think it's harder than you think it is to make the self-assessment of I'm not as good at this as other people, because Carson Wentz has been paid and picked as if he is.
I understand, but being a backup still means you're one of the best, 70 quarterbacks in the world or something like that. And so there's nothing wrong with that. He's just not a starting quarterback.
What do you mean there's nothing wrong with that?
Pays well.
But of course there's something wrong with that. These guys don't get paid to be number 68. He didn't become the highest paid quarterback in football because he was the 64th best quarterback.
I mean, but how many chances do you need as a starting quarterback to realize, to look in the mirror and say to yourself, you know what? I'm a guy who's supposed to hold a clipboard. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's my lot in life. And you know what? That lot in life pays really, really well. And it comes without all the physical injuries and all the harm down the road. It just comes with a lot of money and the occasional 98-yard drive in an AFC divisional game.
But how old is Carson Wentz? Because I don't know what the moment of discovery is when you've been a number 1 pick and the highest paid quarterback at your position. That was probably a pretty good day for Carson Wentz, right? Not just because of the finances of it, because the league was telling him for a moment, you're one of the best. You're not number 68. We're going to pay you as if you're one of the best who throws a football. And I imagine in his self-assessment and where he was drafted and wherever it is that he keeps his self-esteem at a position that it can be hard to week to week to keep your self-esteem, especially the way he was playing the game, which is on his knees, running, tackled at the shins, on his knees, throwing a 6-yard out, and falling on.
Doesn't sound fun, right?
No, it does not. It does not sound fun.
Meanwhile, there was a quarterback making $5 million a year watching him. His name was Nick Foles.
Well, front row seats, free games.
He actually made $9 million a year.
I also believe, Stugotz, if you watched any Washington football last year, that team hated him. I believe that they wanted Heineke.
By the way, Heineke wants to be a backup. He's perfectly fine with it. He said, listen, I prefer starting, but backup role in the NFL is fantastic, and I'm okay with it.
He's had the best of all the worlds because he was a backup in the XFL as well.
Well, he's had the best of all the worlds because he gets to be the savior. Fitzpatrick resided in this.
He's a fun backup too.
Coming around.
It's just fun backup.
Fun backup.
It's guy. I'll
you feel like you have a,
maybe I'll
you
go
have a shot.
2-1. I got a shot to go. 4-3 in 7 games. People say I'm the answer. I'm Cooper Rush. I'm Teddy Bridge. I'm Teddy Bridgewater.
Brock Purdy.
No, there's special tiers for backup. The oh bleep we're screwed tier that most backups exist in.
I thought Jacoby Brissett was in there.
No, he's in the, hey, we can win this game. He's fine.
Yeah.
That's the Chad Henne, Jacoby Brissett. Or this person will either lose us this game or win us this game. But either way, it's going to be a hell of a ride.